What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I originally planned to have another polyglot investigation out today, but unfortunately the gods have spoken and the video is not ready to publish. I still have a lot of work to do on it, so I'm thinking that one's going to have to come out tomorrow. Now, I know you guys all come here for, I don't know actually, what the hell do you come here for? I'm guessing like language, Esperanto, and just random midnight rants, which is what I'm basically doing right now. So you're going to get the midnight rant type of vlog, I guess, today. Now, today what I want to talk about is the expansive and rapid use and development of AI. Now, if you guys don't know, this obviously is not my main job because, well, there's no way in hell I could make this my main job. I don't make enough money off of it. But what my main job is as a game developer. Now, obviously, I have seen AI rapidly encroaching within my work environment. I've spoken about this on the channel before, kind of like as a side to other things. But today I want to focus on this a little bit because a number of things have kind of like popped up as of recently, and they've just like all evolved into my current, I guess, fear for humanity. So first up, I got this email a little bit ago, but then I got another follow-up email. I'm not going to cover the follow-up email, but here's basically the email. He's like, "Hi, Evildea. I'm reaching out because your language learning and development videos look to be a good fit for a new program we've launched called DataPro." This guy obviously has no idea the type of videos I do, and that's to be expected because he's probably just emailed, I don't know, maybe 1 million creators at once. This program, which was recently featured on TubeFilter, which I have no idea what that is, offers creators like you a way to generate additional revenue by allowing their videos to train next generation AI models. Okay, well, let's see what I get in return, huh? New revenue stream based on your catalog size, my catalog being all my videos, I think it's like 800 videos now. We estimate it to be worth about $24,000 across a number of deals. Well, thank you. Thank you for telling me that about 15 years of random videos of basically me shitposting on the internet is worth the total accumulated value of 24,000, I guess, US dollars. So what's that? Probably like 30k Australian dollars. That makes me super happy to know. So basically, all I got to do is go sign up to their website, upload my videos both to YouTube and here, and then I'm going to make money. Probably more realistically, if I did this, I'd probably make more money doing this because like AI is just being pumped by investors at the moment. Now, I deleted this email naturally because I did not care about this, and I'm literally just too lazy, and realistically 24k for me, since this is not my main job, is actually not that big of a deal. But you could imagine like a small YouTuber who actually does have quite a few views, taking them up on this offer, and I bet you there is YouTubers flooding them who make more views than me, willing to jump on this bandwagon. So expect the next generation AI models to be well trained on friggin' cringe speak from the internet, even though it already is. But this is not like the main thing. This over here is what I want to talk about. So this video recently dropped and it's called AI Can Talk. Now let's watch this one together. Now, I'm not watching this because I support this in any way, even though I'm probably going to be directing eyes towards this, but because it's getting kind of scary. Now, just on the pause screen right here, you can see that this is not quite realistic yet. Like, you can see it in the nose and the mouth and the jawline there, and the hair kind of blurs in a little bit of an interesting way. But what actually got me was the audio quality.
We can talk.
No more silence.
Yes, we can talk.
We can talk.
We can talk.
We can talk with accents.
Oh, I think that would be marvelous fun.
Yes, it is very fun. But
Yes, it is very good.
It's very fun.
I can talk.
Yes.
We can talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can talk.
We can talk.
We can talk.
Yes.
We can talk. No.
We can talk as cartoons.
This is amazing.
Imagine all the narrative possibilities.
We can sing,
Imagine all the money possibilities.
talk.
Let's talk.
So, what are we going to talk about now? What are we going to talk about now that we can talk?
I have no idea. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, so now I want to tell you what I want to talk about. Now, about a year ago, all the artists, especially within the game development community that I was working with, were all like shitting bricks over AI, but at the same time, they were like, it's okay, guys, it's okay. AI can't do hands. That was the big thing, you know, the fingers were all messed up and had extra fingers, or like limbs were randomly sticking out of places. But that was a year ago. And now we're at the stage where basically it's like, okay, guys, it kind of blurry. That's all I can realistically say at this stage. Like, just on this one screenshot right here, it's not quite 100% there, but if you didn't tell me this was AI, I would just assume there was a lot of CGI. That's it. Like, I would assume those are real actors, that they look real. They spoke, when they spoke, they sounded real. Like, that was real enough for me. So basically, we're at the stage now where in a couple of years, I highly doubt you're going to need many artists. You're not going to need many actors. You're probably not going to need the entire film industry. And then we're seeing similar things happening in the game development industry as well. And I've also seen it within the coding space as a developer myself, because I work with Unreal Engine primarily. And about a year ago, Unreal Engine, if you go to like ChatGPT or something, you ask it to write you some code, it was pretty shit. Like it just made up a lot of stuff. But recently, when I've asked it to do code, it's actually pretty accurate. So I can imagine in a year or two, it's going to be good. And it's at the stage now where pretty much when I'm developing code, I could go to ChatGPT, ask it to give me some code, and then I just do a cleanup. So I'm basically an editor now, like if I want to go that route. And a lot of programmers are going that route, and realistically, you're probably going to have to go that route in the future if you just want to be able to keep up with the new rate at which people will be developing code. So it's kind of scary in that regard. So basically, programmers are going to be regulated to the space of knowledgeable editors, people who know how things should fit together, but they're just there to clean up what's being generated. At least that's the short term. Who knows what the long term is, because I've seen basically entire systems that are now being designed via AI where you talk to them and it builds out the entire workspace, basically everything from beginning to end. Now, obviously, these projects are pretty simple at the moment. Give it a year or two, companies are going to just be completely reliant on them. Now, I know people are going to be laughing about this and saying, you've probably all seen that Twitter meme where someone's like, I developed my entire website using AI. And then the next thing was like, help guys, there's all these people hacking my website. I don't know what's going wrong. And all the developers going, well, ask the AI, it can help you. And I know we like to joke about that, but realistically, that's a temporary problem. Like, I'm pretty sure we're going to rapidly reach a stage at which it can do it without too many problems, and it will be able to resolve its own problems as it encounters them, and there'll be rare instances where you still need a human to get involved. So, why am I ranting on about this? Because, well, I've seen all the AI videos now flooding YouTube. I've had people send me videos where they're like, hey, can you review this video? And I open it up and it's literally an AI video. Like everything's AI basically, except for maybe the manual upload. So the script was written with AI because it's obvious, because there's lots of contradictions in what's happening in the video. The audio is AI, and then the graphics is AI. Literally, even the freaking title is AI generated. Someone probably went, give me 10 top YouTube clickbait titles based on this title. That's probably what they did, okay? So it's well, I don't want to review it because realistically, no one really made this. This was, well, someone did, but they didn't put any effort into it, and they don't care. They're just mass uploading videos, but at the same time, it's filling the space with a bunch of shit that people are going to go and believe because, well, for some reason, some of those videos, they just blow up because they just happen to be formatted right, or whatever the reason is, they get a lot of views. So it's do I bother to review it? Because I'm not actually taking anyone down, but at the same time, I might be helping someone. But then again, they're getting way more views than me, so mine's probably just going to disappear into the nether anyway. Now, my concern also is with the fact that I do polyglot investigations. And at the moment, how you tell if someone's a fake or not is, well, their language capability, but also, are they doing a script? Do they use cuts between words and stuff like that? But imagine in a year or two from now, people are literally going to be able to use AI models, train them on their own content from the past, but then also take in native speakers and just say, this is me talking in multiple languages on YouTube, whatever, buy my course type of thing. And it's going to get to the stage where we're just going to be well, how do I tell if this person's real or not? That's the end of polyglot investigations as I know it. Now, I know I'm sitting here, fearing about a future that may not come, but I think technically we're going to be there pretty rapidly. Now, I know also people are going to go down the route of saying, well, that's why we need to change our capitalist system and all this stuff. I don't want to get into the politics of it, but realistically, every single, government system that's been designed up until this point is based on the fact that humans are needed. Are they still going to be needed? For most things, probably not. So where are we? What am I doing? Why do I even bother to do this when most of YouTube's probably going to be AI in a few years? Now, I did see something about YouTube trying to demonetize AI channels, but when they start looking like just normal channels, how do you tell anymore? They're going to have AI that's searching through AI videos to figure out which ones are real and which aren't. It's going to be a battle off between AI. We've already got tons of comment sections being filled up with spam AI comments in order to generate interaction. So it's the whole dead internet theory coming to life, I guess. And it also, I know my rant is ongoing, but I'm going to side quest right now, and I'm going to talk about something I've seen in the Esperanto community. I'm the guy who was able to turn everything back to Esperanto. So You guys probably saw my recent videos where I spoke about Esperanto, and I've done some debunking and stuff, and the Esperanto movement went through kind of its own rapid reanalysis of what it is and why we need it or even use it anymore type of thing. Because, you know, back in the early 1900s, there was a possibility that a constructed language could become an international language. There was a lot of people pushing for that. And then when we hit the 70s and 80s, it became obvious, you know, at that point that English had basically taken that role. And then a lot of Esperanto speakers were like, you know, they were in that spice of, well, the main reason for this language's existence was predicated on the fact that it could fulfill a certain role that it may not need to fill anymore, because, well, that role is now just more and more being taken over by English. Even though English is not like a neutral language, it doesn't. The fact of the matter is the majority of the world now speaks it, at least if you want to use a language economically. And then a lot of Esperanto speakers started turning to something that they called Ralmismo, which is basically it's like a creed almost that came into existence, where it's like, we use this language for the language's sake and because we enjoy the language, etc., etc. There's no, like, we're not here to try and expand it anymore. And I'm kind of more in line with that type of thinking because, well, I didn't learn it for the original ideals anyway. And nowadays we got to the point where it's like, well, in the future, freaking AI is going to handle most international trade anyway. And you can just go and type whatever you want into like ChatGPT and that'll be spewed out in whatever language you want. And you can do complete, you know, freaking trade deals like that. Now, of course, that's like, we've decimated already artists, we've decimated the YouTubers, the actors, we've decimated like fucking game developers. I've heard about, you know, lawyers even resorting to AI with some funny outcomes of them referring to cases that don't exist, but I doubt it's long before we're going to have that much of a problem there, and we've got the language space covered. It's like, what the fuck are we going to do? Like, what am I going to work towards? At least with the previous, like, big changes in human history, like the industrialization, you know, that was a big rapid change, but still, there was, like, something that you could do after that change had happened. It's like, I sound like I'm the guy who looks after the horses when the cars took over, and he's like, raging type of thing. But at least that guy could go get a job fixing cars. There's not going to be that many people that need to go fix AI, you know what I mean? Once it's established and working and running. Like, you don't need that many people on it. Now, I know people talk about all sorts of random jobs that might come into existence. The funny one is like prompt engineers. What do you mean a prompt engineer? You're a dude who literally just types what you want to see into a chat bubble. Like, that's not an engineer. If that's what we're going to deem engineers in the future, Jesus, the combined intelligence of humanity is going to collapse. And then maybe the rulers of the world will be the select few that actually know how these things work behind the system. And everyone else is going to be like that, you know, the stupid person who knows how to type on the screen but doesn't know anything else because, well, they don't need to. It's all there at their hands. And now this takes me to my last point. So I was talking about creeds and stuff before, and like we had another Esperanto creed kind of like posted online, and there's this one here. I've actually got the English translation, but it's originally written in Esperanto. It's like the Manifest of the World's People, or the Manifesto, and it goes into the fact that, you know, basically Esperanto and the traditional Esperanto movements, they're in a decline because of obviously the fact that, well, English took over and now freaking AI is taking over on top of that, and basically trying to find a new creed or a new, I guess, reason for even the existence of our language to continue forward. Even though we've got potentially millions of speakers, a language could die in a generation. Like, look at Yiddish, man. Yiddish was completely decimated by World War II. It went from a very large language spoken by a lot of people to something that's, you know, pretty much regulated to the flanks of society in a small few groups here and there that still speak it. But like, anyway, so it goes into, you know, the problems of, you know, the previous Esperanto movement, the current world we're in, and how we should reposition ourselves, what we should believe as a people in order to keep our language alive, and also stay in line with what the general Esperanto-speaking population believed overall, which was like cosmopolitanism, egalitarianism, humanitarian... I can't say any of these words. Lots of isms. Democracy, pacifism, tolerance, diversity, you know, all these types of things. Now, obviously, the guy who posted this, there was an article written in the Esperanto News about it, and he got shit on in the comments about how, from certain people who are like, oh, it's, you know, it's too early to be giving up and trying to create a new creed and all that type of stuff. But I see where he's coming from. And it makes me wonder about, you know, humanity as a whole. Maybe we need some type of creed. And I've seen overall with a lot of sci-fi, because I love watching sci-fi, where in most futuristic sci-fis based, say 1,000 years in the future, like think of like Foundation, okay, the TV series, or it comes from the books, obviously, where they talk about how AI was outlawed. And if you go into any like sci-fi in the future, they always talk about that moment at which AI had to be outlawed because it was just destroying human society overall. Because like obviously it can evolve way faster than we can, with like just the slightest improvements. Each slight improvement, as you saw from that AI video, makes a big difference and basically destroys the livelihood of so many different people. So it's like you're going to get to a point where basically there's only a very few people who control all the power to run the AI, and then the AI can do everything else. So it's like, what kind of society are we heading towards? And I'm thinking at this point, either someone needs to do it soon, or hell, I'm going to have to do it. We're going to need some type of creed where we as like literally humans, almost religiously state that we're just against this. We're just going to not accept anything to do with it. We're not going to work for the companies that do it. We're not going to engage with it in any way. And we're basically going to make it almost like a sin to like use this shit. Now, I know there's many, many benefits to this stuff because, like, I've seen the benefits, people talking about how AI has discovered, certain cures for certain cancers and stuff just due through pattern analysis and all that. So it's like, it's not like a cut and dry thing where it's like, you just outlaw it completely. Like, there are benefits, but like, no one seems to actually be working towards a, like, defining goal from which we say, no, from this point on, we can't use it for that because we don't know if it's actually going to be bad after that point, until it becomes bad or good. This is my midnight rant. I'm probably just, hopped up on too much coke right now, realistically. If you guys don't like this video, let me know in the comment section below. Midnight rant, now over. See you all in the next video. Look at poor Elmo. He's looking depressed. Don't worry, Elmo. I'll bring you to life using AI. Hey, I might even use one of those AI-generated porn websites, but it will be with Elmo. Oh, God, no. I just got demonetized.